Hi lovely ones, and welcome to another Galactic Mayan astrology report. So, if you've not been here before, every 13 days for many years I have shared a forecast for the Wavespell process, which is a name for a 13-day cycle, through the Galactic Mayan calendar. The Galactic Mayan calendar is a profound evolutionary tool. It gives us a framework for navigating through space, through reality, that is not tied to the Gregorian concept of time, which the Gregorian concept is pretty low vibration, yo. It's not connected to any natural cycles of time, and it serves as, this like kind of world cult. We've all adhered to it being January the 20th that this new 13-day process begins. But that doesn't actually have any significance, and when we shift into navigating life through an evolutionary and astronomical, astrological perspective, we are in rhythm with everything else that exists. Because what the Gregorian calendar does, it creates like an echo chamber. It means that humanity is separate. The way that we navigate through reality is separate from the way that everything else is existing, which creates shit essentially. And I've had a really big initiation within this that I will share about more in due course. There's going to be a lot of unraveling on the back of the huge initiation I've been through recently. But one of the biggest pieces of it has been, for 10 years I've been living out of traditional time, man-made time frameworks, and in the past 6 months I've descended into a situation where I've been having to live through the Gregorian time framework, and the impact of that, particularly after I'd stripped out of it, has been profound. But more on that later. The 13-day process that we're moving into on the 20th of January, which is Saturday, is with the archetype of the yellow human. And the first thing that I want to share, Pam Gregory, our lovely Pam, who's a really amazing astrologer, has spoken into this theme, which I'm really feeling strong, around the next stage of humanity becoming the Homoluminous. And essentially, like, the Homoluminous state is us in our light bodies. And the yellow human Wavespell is journeying what it means to be human, and humanity is bound by the dimension or frequency it's operating from. And the potential of humanity is limitless because we are creator consciousness. But the collective humanity vibration is still working through a lot of limitation, and that limitation really boils down to duality consciousness. It's good or it's bad, it's right or it's wrong, it is or it isn't. It's this polarized perspective as opposed to this unity perspective, which recognizes that everything always is love. This is the angelic perspective. Lucifer, the angel that fell, being the shadow initiator, and all of the experiences that we have with one another and with our life situations are always deep teachings leading us toward evolution if we can take responsibility for the why behind the conflict or the process or the initiation. And therefore that is love. So our process, someone's just pulled up outside. I'm at Esteemed and it's a garage. Someone's just pulled up outside. So the process of the yellow human is really about us journeying the different pieces of ideology that make up humanity. It's so intense. I'm like just trying to stay in my channel, but there's like really loud hip hop coming out of the car that's just pulled up. And this is it, you know, it's like this is the reality, and I think this has been part of my process of late, as to like I've really come out of centre with what I've been doing. And you know, there is a part of me that's, you know, a bad man that knocked about with loads of chabbers in Bradford when I was growing up, and I really like hip hop, and there's that like gangster thread, and that is that's an emanation of humanity. And we've got all of these different cultural emanations of humanity. You go to different places and you see different cultures. You go to, you know, different communities, and depending on, you know, the class situation that they're in, the culture's different. You know, there's so many different emanations of what it is to be human. But the one piece that is prevailing throughout the collective of humanity is that we are disempowered, and the forgetting of us as the creator, the detachment from our light body, or the forgetting of our light body. It's like we come so deeply into the like third dimensional realm that we only feel our spirit, we only feel our energetics when we're in meditation or when we're in a circle, because the density of the collective reality is so intense that we have to, like a tuning fork, lower the frequency to be able to move through the reality. And the idea of being homoluminous is that we allow our frequency, allow our light body to be maintained and on and consciously connected to how we're operating our identity. And from that space, it's like the illumination. And what comes with that operation through energetics, that like perspective of ourselves as energetic beings, is this unlimited ability to interact with life. And the more that we process the shadow, the more that we allow ourselves to go to sleep, to wake ourselves up, the more that we allow those parts of ourselves to take the reins of our lives, to lead us into situations, if we then allow ourselves to wake up those parts, to bring those parts to light, the more parts of ourselves that come to light, that come to love, the more aspects of who we are that feel loved and safe, the more our human self is able to allow our spirit to be online. And our biggest task at this time, all of the teachings of the moment have guided me to, the biggest task is maintain your frequency. Maintain your frequency at all costs, that's it. Because when you're in the highest vibration that you can be, the ability to manifest is so much stronger, because you're already in that less dense, less time delay realm. So the higher your frequency, the easier it is to align with and manifest. You know, the aligning with and the manifest are the same thing, because all timelines, as we know from quantum physics, already exist. Everything that could happen is happening right now, and our consciousness decides the reality, the timeline that we tune into. So it's not just that there's two timelines for humanity, there's an infinite amount of timelines for humanity, and where each one of us places our creator consciousness decides which one we are aligning to. And if all of us are aligning to the highest frequency, the highest timeline that is available to us, then all of us are aligning to the highest timeline that's available to us. But in order to do that, in order to allow ourselves to get to that place, it is this maintenance. So the yellow human energy, you know, it might be about lack, it might be about limitation, our experiences over the next 13 days. It may be, you know, things from our human history, it may be our human issues that come up, it may be around individuality and identity, and yeah, like the limitation of this realm. There may be feeling like you don't fit in with humanity, you don't fit in within this realm. Like that could all be pieces that you journey within this Wavespell. But what I invite you to take it as, particularly because some of the other astrology that's moving, like there's movements of Pluto on Saturday when this Wavespell begins, which is seen as a, you know, I was also listening to Kai Pacha. I used to really follow both Pam and Kai Pacha, and I fell out of rhythm with them for probably about 6 or 7 years, but then my partner is really into them, so started sort of realigning with their teachings. You know, things come in and go out, as probably you with the Mayan calendar and watching these videos, you'll kind of come in and out of it. But yeah, this thing that's happening with Pluto, the big thing was about how essentially it's this energy of like human in community can be built up, you know, and you can feel really supported and like, yeah, and then in the blink of an eye you can be torn down from that space. And that's a really big part of this being human, isn't it? And like how we've been conditioned to gain praise and do the thing to fit in, but often that's like a separate thing to what our inner self is asking. And what I would invite you to do is to use this Wavespell as a reboot. I know that there's like the Gregorian New Year that gets used as a reboot and all of these different things, but you know, this is my invitation to you to use this Wavespell to bring your cosmic self online, to tend to your frequency, to do whatever it takes and whatever you need to do to tend to your frequency. Because the more that you tend to your frequency, the more that you nurture this energetic as well as physical body, the more heightened your vibration is, and your vibration is your offering to the planet. So when it comes to yellow human energy and what this 13-day period is about, it's, you know, what is humanity in the future for the generations that come? What is the humanity that we're working toward? What is the definition of humanity? Not from what it is now, not from what it has been, not with the doom and gloom, everything's fucked mentality. Like the potential, the energetic potential of the human. And this is where, you know, we're realigning to like the Lemurian human. We're aligning back to the versions of ourselves that are living in this high vibrational reality. And this is what's difficult at the moment, because there are so many different frequencies of pockets of reality that are playing out, as is the same inside of us. So we've got these like parts of us that are still really stuck in the pain body, and there's like a really deep victim pain horror story unfolding within those parts of us. But then we may also have these, you know, highly, you know, we might already be in Lemurian consciousness, we might already be in, you know, dolphin consciousness, in other aspects of us, and I can really, you know, I can resonate with that. So our task, our greatest tasks, if we are wanting to support humanity to rise, is to tend to the parts of us that have not yet been liberated, that do not yet know love. And you know, it's not as simple as, I think sometimes some modalities within the New Age movement, or that are used within the New Age movement, can make it feel like this whole idea of like quantum healing. You know, it's like you can do a meditation, someone can press a few buttons in your energy field and buff, you know, this huge thing is gone and you're miraculously healed. And like for me, as somebody that has journeyed a lot of trauma in this lifetime and has, you know, this body, learning that it is safe takes time. Knowing that we are loved takes time. It's attending to. It's not an instantaneous. It's a returning to the parts that were really abused or really abandoned or really hurt, that existed in that space for such a long time and then became banished and have consistently lived in that space. It's going to them again and again and again and again with this endless unconditional love that says, I'm still here, you're still safe, how you doing? Returning, 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 returning. And if each one of us did that, the collective energy on the planet would be able to rise, because, you know, it's so easy to look out at the world and say, you know, that thing that's happening in the world is fucked, and that's the heavy thing that's in, or that person is the heavy thing that's weighing down the dimension, because look at where everyone is, or where those people are, or where that person is. When actually, if we can just look at our inner world, you know, to be human is to have the whole of the universe within us, to have infinite energy within us. So my invitation is to tend to your vibration for the next 13 days, to use it as you might be with other people, you might be connecting with other people, but my invitation is to take this as like as a time for you to journey with you, to reconnect to your frequency, to clean it up, to get sparkly, to do what you need to do to really bring that sparkle back, you know, to be Homoluminous, to be in your light body, and to be weird, you know, to let your weirdness be seen, to not need to hide, to integrate, you know, to be witnessed in your recognition of who you are and who we are and what we're doing here. So I send you so much love. I'm going into a deep process within these 13 days of integration and rest and recalibration. And no doubt, you know, in time I will begin to share some of the story of, you know, where I'm at. It's been huge, but all is really well. All is really, really well. But yeah, being a human is phenomenal, and riding the waves consciously at this time is a really big thing to be doing. And you know, I just really want to just congratulate you for being here, and thank you for being here, and yeah, all the other shit of this realm is secondary to the learning of how to be love. And if we are investing our energy in that, if we are prioritizing that, it's the biggest gift that we can be offering to the planet. So if you feel lost but you are learning about love and learning how to be love, or if you feel like your life's a mess, or that things don't look right, or you're not where you want to be, and you are learning how to be love consciously, you are right on track. We're all right on track, but it's an intense job being here right now. So I send you so much love, and here's to us being Homoluminous together.